Back to the cage, and Jason Nivens.
Our sixth bout this evening is brought to you by Major Pack, KC's leading cannabis culture company. Fighting out of the blue corner, Tyrell Burns. And fighting out of the red corner, Kevin Kissane. Cable Dahlmer, let's make some noise.
Your very pedigreed MMA fighters. Tyrell Burns versus the undefeated Kevin Kissane. Round number one. Blue trunks for Burns. Black and green trunks for Kissane. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating.
Yeah, get ready for the pace out put by Kissane. I train with Kissane a lot, train with Kevin a lot, excuse me. And he's one of my hardest rounds. He's very high pace, a lot of wrestling.
Looking for the very low single, Kissane. That was nicely defended by Burns.
He's got good chain wrestling as well.
Defensive overhook held by Tyrell Burns with his hip against the cage. You see the front shoulder pressure from Kissane.
Good head positioning too. It's important to win that head positioning right here. The head controls where the fight goes.
That's really educated head pressure and positioning by Kissane. Again, that's legal, that's not a butt. It's just the head pivot, the wedge. Smart, legal, effective. Kissane looking single, staying patient, and also staying tenacious. Deep on the inside, Kevin Kissane. Burns under the chin, trying to create separation. 150 remaining, round number one. Smart defense by Burns. Can you see Burns with his right glove under the chin of Kissane? Kissane still looking high single. Left hand. Diversionary tactic by Kissane. Back to the single leg.
If you keep that head propped up, it's hard for the guy to shoot under and go re-attack the legs, excuse me. Smart defense by Tyrell Burns.
So the left hand again for Kissane. Good turn by Burns. Right hand on the separation. There's the shot. Big sprawl by Burns. Burns trying to keep his posture. Burns now heavy on the neck of Kevin Kissane.
He's doing a good job of controlling that head there and putting it in the middle of his stomach, middle of his hip.
You can see how high level these two Amis are. Tyrell Burns, Kevin Kissane, just from this sequence alone. There's a knee, that was legal.
Good knees.
Just above the belt line, that's legal.
Very active coaching by Trey Ogden here in the corner.
See the overhook, held by Tyrell Burns. We'll see the patience now of referee Nick Behrens in this sequence. Bit of a stalemate position. Looking for the elevation on the single. Kissane couldn't find it.
You know, not only are the fighters evolving, but as well as the coaching's evolving as well. So on both ends, just the entire game just climbing up and up. But good control here by Kevin Kissane in the first round.
That ends round number one.
Man, if I'm in the corner of Tyrell Burns, I'm telling him to lower his stance and kind of negate that wrestling. It's hard to shoot on somebody when they're lower than you. And then again with Kevin, just again shoot in, but whenever we get to the cage, we got to make these takedowns happen. Again, that, like I said before, that the cage is a martial art in its own.
Tyrell Burns electing to stand between rounds 1 and 2. The theory on that, if you're going to stand between rounds, you better do it from start to finish.
Yes, correct.
Don't change course midway through. Stand, then stool.
And it's different for every fighter. You know, sometimes when you sit down, it makes your legs lock up. So, you know, again, it's personal preference.
round number 2. Burns trying to stay active with his jab, the lead hand from ortho to start the second round. Open-chested entry for Kevin Kissane. Look at Kissane, you see Garrett mirroring the hips so intelligently of Burns. There's the shot. Great sprawl. Guillotine for the briefest of moments for Burns. Looking takedown again, trying to get under the hips of Burns is Kevin Kissane. Garrett, you've talked about training with Kevin Kissane. This is just relentless pace and pressure.
Yeah, non-stop wrestling. It's an X factor for him. But Tyrell Burns is doing a good job at using that overhook and using good head positioning to almost negate that. But what he needs to do is he needs to, again, be first and turn off the cage here.
Burns doing right exceedingly well, negating these takedown attempts of Kissane. Again, another. Kissane quickly on the level change. Can you see the wide spot base of Burns?
His hands together, and he's going to lift and get the takedown.
And there is the takedown on cue. Burns back to his feet, one hook in now, standing for Kissane. 140 remaining, round number 2. This is a very intelligent tactical fight between both men. Left hand's getting through for Kevin Kissane.
Now, it may look like on the cage the guys are just wrestling, but every fighter can tell you that can be the most grueling part of the fight.
Right hand, another right hand getting through from Burns. On the takedown. Second effort from Kissane.
They got that good
scramble sequence.
He's got the head and arm attempt on the opposite side, but good regard by Tyrell Burns here. He's got to watch the sweep.
Kissane looking to stack, right hand getting through. Burns willing to give his back in this sequence, trying to roll through.
It's the Granby roll.
Kissane matching on the roll. Trying to get one hook in. Tight base defensively for Burns. Now on the turn in the full mount for Kevin Kissane. 35 seconds remaining, round 2. Right hand and another right hand getting through for Kissane.
Again, something about that chain wrestling. You can stop the first one, maybe the second, the third, but that fourth and fifth, the wrestlers, they don't stop.
Burns getting half butterfly guard.
And we got him attacking the anaconda choke here.
See with the arm in, the anaconda choke attempt. Final seconds, round number 2. It is tied, a thumbs up from Tyrell Burns to referee Nick Behrens. More squeeze in the final seconds. The bell, we move to the third and final round.
A great fight by both men thus far. Tyrell Burns is doing a good job at defending this wrestling. He's doing great on the feet, and then again, Kevin doing a good job at getting his takedowns and chaining them together and then being active once on the ground.
Our fight replays presented by Major PAC.
There you go, Kevin again using the cage to lift and get the hands underneath the butt for the double, and then attacking the back as Burns stands up. And then here's Burns letting his hands fly. And then good double dump to the mount by Kissane.
So the anaconda choke. Final seconds of round number 2. Burns, and I think that's intelligent, giving the thumbs up to referee Nick Behrens, who himself, Behrens, is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Let's see if the insane Kissane stands up with the pace.
The English fighter, by the way, Sean Kissane, is Sean No Pain Kissane.
No Pain Kissane. The play on words with that last name.
Third and final round underway. Tyrell Burns versus Kevin Kissane. Ami featherweights. It's been extremely technical, extremely tactical to this point in the fight. There's the separation. Kissane again looking for the entry. Hard outside kick, high on the hip. There's the level change. Bit of reach from Kissane, still to the inside. The overhook held by Burns, now driven against the cage. Looking high single, Kevin Kissane. Garrett, Tyrell Burns has shown some outstanding balance.
He has. He's done a good job at using that overhook and making Kevin kind of resort to the single leg attack.
Short knee from Kissane. 1:55 remaining, third and final round.
This could still be anybody's fight. We have Burns being effective with the striking, having damage, while Kissane's having the control. And then here, attempting to get the arms together. He has the hands together, and so now he'll be able to step his left leg in between and get the lift, but instead.
See that heavy front left shoulder of Kevin Kissane.
There you go, left leg in to get the double leg dump.
Good defensive balance from Tyrell Burns. Keeping his feet, keeping his positioning along the fence. 70 seconds remaining in this fight. Overhook still held by Burns.
As you can see in the previous exchange, Burns didn't keep the whizzer, and that's the overhook that he has with his right arm. And that gave up the back, but now he's back attacking that overhook and keeping the whizzer there.
Short knee to the thigh from Kissane, staying active. Chest to chest. Burns trying to frame out, trying to create space. Kissane continuing to try to take away this time and space from Tyrell Burns.
He's got the hands. Burns has got some great takedown defense against the cage here. And I felt these takedown attempts. They're not easy to defend.
Some disquiet in this crowd, but this is really technical stuff from both men.
It is.
Tyrell Burns appealing to referee Nick Barnes for the separation, not forthcoming. More takedown attempt for Tyrell, or rather for Kevin Kissane. Good defense from Tyrell Burns. The bell, and that's the end of the fight.
You know, a lot of these matchups here tonight, we've had the striker versus wrestler matchup. Kevin using the wrestling to close the distance. I don't know how this one's gonna go, Sean.
Oftentimes in very close rounds in MMA, Garrett, you know this, the judges will default. It's not always correct, but the judges will default to who is bringing the forward pressure.
Correct. Call that octagon control, cage control.
In boxing, it's called ring generalship, and you're absolutely right. Cage control in MMA, because those were very, very close rounds. Both fighters, though, showing their skill set, showing their intelligence. A very tactical, strategic fight between Tyrell Burns and Kevin Kissane, going the distance, all 3 rounds, all 9 minutes. Our winner announcement is presented by Milagro Tequila. Here is Jason Nivens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for these fighters once again, going the distance. Judge Geary scores the bout 30-27. Judge Marquez scores the bout 30-27. And Judge DeVille scores the bout 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Kevin Kissane.
30-27 across the board. Great effective wrestling, showing that Mizzou wrestling, that college wrestling experience, controlling the cage. Great fight by Kevin Kissane.
The great Division I program, the University of Missouri Tigers, that is produced into MMA. The likes of Ben Askren, J.P. Reese, Michael Chandler sends Kevin Kissane to AMI MMA, where he's now 5-0. Tyrell Burns, great posture, great balance, great defense, but Kevin Kissane, brilliant on his pressure, his entries, his cage control, leading that fight throughout. Kevin Kissane, again, now 5-0 is in AMI and MMA.
I still thought Burns did fight a good fight. I thought he did handle it well. It just, that insane Kissane pressure got him the win.
The pressure indeed shining through. Tyrell Burns just unable to maintain his range despite his best efforts. And Kevin Kissane, really high-level stuff, continually on the entries to the inside. The winner by way of unanimous decision, Kevin Kissane defeats Tyrell Burns.